especially in candle magic and also herbal magic. All right, so these are some things that you need to look up and research for yourself. Dill is great for bringing in prosperity, similar to how people use catnip. Very, it's a good way, it's a good way to actually bring in wealth and stuff like that, prosperity, especially in money magic, and also herbal healing. Then you have salt. Of course, salt is the universal thing, similar to uh, any other herb or any other essence. It is to bless and protect, especially once you kind of bless it. You can use it in baths. You can also use it in blessing washes and scrubs, also for the home and things of that nature as well. All right, let's see. So clove, great. One of my favorites to put in protection magic, especially candle magic, and also I love putting clove in my tea, especially when I'm using black seed or something like that, something that's really bitter naturally. I like putting those in there as well. Clove, especially in candle magic, great for Archangel Michael's protection candle. If you ever go to a botanical or spiritual supply store or import African store or holistic store or some type of tribal cultural store, you're going to normally see them dress a candle because you can get them dressed at some of the stores. Basil sticking out. Basil great for money magic, wealth, prosperity. It's great for protection magic. It's also great for blessing, especially ancestral workings and stuff that nature. You normally see people get the pear, they'll grow it themselves because it doesn't take long to grow. Dill and basil. Clove, I mean, ground clove, great for goddamn grounding work and stuff like that, but great for fertility magic as well. We're going to get into our workshop over on the Goddess Complex LLC. I'm still working on the homepage, but I'm going to also work on breaking some of this other stuff down as well to teach you guys in the workshop. That way you can take it home with you, all right? If you are not caught up on the podcast, which is the Cars and Coffee podcast about the Goddess Complex, make sure you are paying attention to that. Also, another one, nutmeg. Clove and nutmeg and coffee with cinnamon. That's another one. They are all warm, amber, warm tone herbs, which are earth bounding, fire element based herbs. And also, they're great for not just grounding, also good for prosperity, but great for protection in different areas. It just depends on how you're using it. So cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg are, I think they're in the sign of Mars. I think they're all Mars-based spices. All right, it doesn't make sense. Very masculine spices. Dill and basil, really great. Basil blesses a lot, especially if you don't have oregano in kitchen magic. You're going to use basil in your food. That's why when it comes to love stuff, love magic, and stuff like that as well. When it comes to attraction magic. All these are attractors. Of course, salt it would be the fixed essence, which is salt. Salt is something universal and mutual, similar to cinnamon. Also similar to Himalayan salt, cinnamon, and what else is it? That's universal. Pepper, black pepper, peppers and stuff like that. Those are what you call fixed herbs and essence. All right, you have that. But the only thing about these things, like mint, I just seen mint. Mint is another one. Does that make sense? Like how lavender is universal. Rosemary, this is another one. You have rosemary here. Rosemary, great. I mean, for casting, got a lot of energy, spirits. It's 8 p.m. Central Time. This is not going to be a long video because I got to go. Hopefully you can hear me over the crowd of people, which is 3 or 4 people talking loudly. Rosemary will fuck some shit up in candle magic, honey. Especially you trying to do some protection work and bring in some stuff while protecting, especially money protection. That's something different. A lot of you guys are doing the money magic candles wrong. A lot of y'all are doing the attraction stuff wrong, especially when dealing with rosemary. When you're working with rosemary, if you think of rosary beads and rosemary to cast out spirits and stuff like that, great for protection candle, but also great for your ancestral candle to protect the bloodlines and stuff as well. Rosemary and salt. What can you make with that? And see, I have the rosemary, dry rosemary, and fresh rosemary on the sprig. Is two different types of magic. Fresh kitchen magic, fresh herb magic, herbal magic, and then using dry and then ground. So the texture does matter, but all of it is universal. Like cinnamon, you can use cinnamon sticks for something for warding and stuff. Then you can use the ground cinnamon for everything else, if that makes sense. Especially if you need to make physical magic, like a lot of people make crucifixes and voodoo dolls, or something like that for the fertility ritual, because you're gonna put them on a mount. And I'm actually gonna make one, and it's great to bring in fertility and stuff, or for womb protection, or protection for yourself. Because a lot of witches and warlocks, I've learned from battling a lot of them, unfortunately, a lot of their magic is something that we do in African and also Asian and Indonesian bloodlines and tribal bloodlines. All right, it's similar. A lot of it was stolen and taken and reused. Of course, the time period, a lot of things were recovered, old texts and tablets and slabs. Also, stuff they did in Egypt and different parts of Africa. It just depends on South America, where you coming from. If I see the word Cuban magic, Santeria, and all that type of stuff. It just depends. It depends on the nature and intent, regardless. But you can take cinnamon sticks. You can, unfortunately, do very baneful stuff with it, but you can also do some major attraction magic. It's beautiful, especially for love, fertility, protection, bondage, warding, banishing. It just depends on what you want to do with it. And if you know how to cook, you know magic. Some of you guys are just naturally, yeah, sage. Now, this sage and several different and other the white sage is completely different. Of course, when you ground sage, it's going to turn into another color. It's going to darken as well. Fresh sage needs to be cooked into food, but also you can use ground sage also in candle workings as well. You can use white sage, which is the sage that is more sacral. If you can't find dried sage, like, as in sage bundles, because there's two different kind of sage. Sage, food sage, and also sage for burning, ceremonial sage. Two different sages. All right, both can be used in magic, but it just depends on how you want to use it. Thyme. Ooh, yes, ma'am. When you have rosemary and thyme, I try not to use one without the other. Great for protection, great for money magic. Like great. So thyme and basil, rosemary, sage, and dill make it will fuck up some money spells, that especially if somebody puts some work on your money, that'll fuck it up. Put it in your food, put it in something. Your tinctures, you can make oils with it, rosemary oil. You can make dill oil, basil oil. You can make thyme. You can make a green oil, basically. All right, because I've made one before. You can make tinctures. All right. If you know what a tincture is, it's taking a type of oil. You can take coconut. You can take, most people use olive oil or grapeseed, sunflower, something that's neutral but universal. Most people use olive oil. It's just the most traditional oil to use. But that thyme and that rosemary will fuck some shit up. But dill, basil, thyme, and rosemary, sage, and put with something that's more grounding, like cinnamon, or something of that nature, will make a damn good candle. But you got to know it. But it can backfire. That's the thing about it. It can backfire if you don't know what you're doing. Because you have to know what to put with it. Because you can't have all green, you have to have something to help ease in and attract the money with it. Sassafras, great for abundance and things of that nature, and wealth. Also great for beauty. Don't forget beauty candles and stuff like that. Self love candles. Sassafras, great in food and stuff like that. This one, what was it again? Um, Great for herbal. I know herbal magic to put in food, but it was something else. Let me see. Used in Creole. So a lot of Creole. If you a Creole bloodline like me, this may be something you need to look into. You can get these. I know the Indian store, Whole Food, World Markets, and stuff like that. You can, of course, order them online to get them fresh or freshly grounded or something of that nature. Will be more ideal. And make the roux, of course, the roux and stuff with this. Not necessarily grounded magic with this, but also good and healing magic, especially medicinal magic. So putting sassafras in certain recipes, soups, things of that nature, meat dishes, fish dishes for sure, and veg. Of course, you can vegan and vegetarianize anything that you need. Parsley is my favorite. I love putting parsley and basil and oregano in food. Thyme is a little bit strong for me, but I try to put it in soup. That's how I get my thyme in. Um, Thyme and sage, nutmeg, clove. Good for prosperity. I do see the word wealth and black behind it. So maybe somebody's trying to trap your wealth. I see the word wealth, but also black. Black. Somebody's doing work on somebody. All right, does that make sense? Similar to how this is, but it's actually in gold. The word wealth. Let me see what else. Fennel. I love this in my teas, and I love it in other food, like my other dishes and stuff as well, especially soups. Fennel makes great tea. They actually add it to a lot of the premium teas that I buy and order. Fennel, great for bound. It's like it's a median. It's a median like clove and cinnamon, but more so like rosemary, oregano. What's the other one? It starts with an S. I can't remember right now. Um, Similar to almost like lemongrass in that area. Of course, universal like lavender. I just saw lavender that was sticking out. But fennel, great for tea, especially herbal magic when you need to feel better. A lot of greenery. Get ready for spring. All right, so we have clove, nutmeg, sage, parsley, dill, basil, thyme, fennel, salt, rosemary, sassafras. Let's get one more. Well, 12, 13 minutes in. Let's get one more. And that'll wrap up our kitchen magic for the week. Ginger. This came out when I did a pre-shuffle. Ginger, great for healing magic. Herbal healing magic. This shit is fire. Ginger, great to speed up and energize like orange, lemon, lemongrass, lemon balm. Any type of citrus, anything in magic. All right. Whether you are ingesting it orally with food magic or you are using it topically, ginger and candle magic speed things up just like coffee. It's going to get more energy and life to it, but you got to know what season to put it in. It can backfire your magic. Anything can backfire, but anything that speeds something up, like coffee and what is it? Coffee and something else. Coffee and ginger speed up magic. If y'all don't know that, it speed it up. All right. Ginger. All right, to heal, it's great for digestion. It's great for us ladies in our reproductive area. Also great for the fellas in your urinary tract area, uh, especially to clean out the urinary bowel ducts and of course liver, kidney, things of that nature as well. Great for women. I was obsessed with ginger for probably the past 2 or 3 years, since I want to say 2019 all the way to now, and I just stopped. I kind of lose interest in certain stuff because I over drink it. But I love it in my tea. I love it in any recipe. It adds two. All right, it adds two things, not takes away. Ginger and turmeric did pop out, so ginger and turmeric are like cousins. Put those two together. I need to say that ginger and turmeric. Um, you need to really be cautious of how to use these herbs and essences in herbal magic and also in kitchen magic when you're cooking. Certain things like I wouldn't put phenol with time. I wouldn't put phenol and phenol with salt because it may delay something. All right, that's more so baneful. All right, so that's counteracting your healing, unless you're guided to use certain stuff together because you can brew the seeds into a tea. And drink it. Put some honey, put lemon, whatever. You can make it with ginger. All righty. All this stuff. If you're from African bloodline, this is our stuff. You from Asian bloodlines. You from the Indonesian bloodline, which are the same bloodline. If you're from the tribal South American bloodline, that's all us. I keep getting Cuban. If you from a Cuban family or bloodline, Italian, all that stuff. All of it's the same bloodline. It's just different ones evolve from different millennia. Does that make sense? American, of course, we're the melting pot. We're the Mecca. This is Atlantis. There were 50 to 500 million species of beings and creatures. That's what we saw in the cartoons and stuff, and during the Disney era in the 90s and stuff was just a peek at what was alive here. So all these herbs and essences can be found. I'm going to try to find another deck. I got this one at Dollar Tree back in 2021. I'm thinking, or 2020 or 2021 is when I got this deck. So that's going to end it. So we have clove, nutmeg, sage, parsley, dill, basil, thyme, fennel, salt, rosemary, sassafras, and ginger. All right. Coco wanted to come out in the pre-shuffle as well. Mint. So you can pair these up. Make sure it's according to what your liking. Of course, some of these are very poisonous. If you put them together, it just depends, or they can become toxic. That's why you can't brew certain herbs and flowers and stuff together because they make a toxic brew. You can only topically use them versus orally digesting them. All right. So I love you so much. This has been the cat kitchen. I said cat magic. This has been the kitchen magic reading with the Goddess Complex. Make sure you are following me on all social medias from YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and everything else below. I'll have it in the link below. Make sure you're following Cards and Coffee on Sundays live stream between the hours of 3 and 4. And the podcast over on anchor.fm on iPhone and Android. All righty. Spotify and everything as well. I love you very much, and I will see you guys next time. Book your readings by emailing me in the link below. All righty. Readings are still $65 for an hour, 35 minutes for a 30-minute reading is $35. Hour reading for $65, and we'll have the store up and restock by the spring. And I love you much, and I'll see you guys next time.